Hey guys, Mary Language here. Welcome to my channel. And today we are going to I want to just kind of run through how to draw a perfect circle freehand. First off, what makes a circle a circle? And the answer to that is that your radius, which is the center of the circle to the outside edge, needs to be the same all the way around, right? And that's what makes a circle hard to draw, is getting that even, or at least appearing as though it's even. So there's obviously tools and ways that we can make a circle perfect by drawing. But I want to teach you how to do it in a way that's going to look fairly perfect, look fairly clean, just freehand. So that's obviously the definition of a circle, is keeping that distance the same around, that radius around, same diameter around the whole circle. So I want to teach you what I like to call the dot to dot method. And this is just something that it's sort of an eye-hand coordination training thing. And so how it works is you're going to take something that's a circle that you can trace, and you're going to trace that. Kind of a tricky thing to trace, but trace it as best as you can. Okay, there we go. Good enough. And then on that circle, I want you to basically put some points or dots in, relatively spaced out spacing. And you're going to start at the top. Now, this might depend on if you're right-handed, left-handed, which direction you might tend to go. It doesn't really matter as long as you can see the whole circle from where you're sitting, how you're sitting, without your hand blocking anything. So if you're left-handed, you want to make sure your hand is not blocking where you need to be going with your circle. So those types of things. Okay, so I'm gonna start at the top. I'm right-handed. I don't know, natural, I guess, feels, I want to go away from me, so counterclockwise like this. So I feel like I can visualize a little bit better. What you're going to do is you're going to start on that dot, and then as I'm moving my circle along my line here, I want my eye to be one step ahead of my pencil lead. Okay, so if I'm here starting, my eye shouldn't be right here. My eye should be up here. And as I move my pencil, my eye should continue to move and be like a dot, almost a dot, ahead of my pencil lead all the way around this circle. Okay, so you're going to give that a try a few times. Think of it like hiking or walking. When you're walking, your eye and brain are always like kind of watching out for the next step you're going to take, so you don't trip over a rock or trip over a crack or whatever, so you want to keep your eye one step ahead of your hand the whole way so you don't trip over rocks. So practicing this, so you're not watching the lead at all. You're really looking at the circle almost as a whole and just going around like this. Now, as you're doing this, I want you to practice a few other things. One is visualizing the whole circle as you're doing it. Don't just be looking at one space ahead. Try to almost blur your eyes and see the whole circle together, because that'll also help you. And then, and this is what I'm doing wrong right now because of how I'm positioned, but you want to not just use your wrist and your hand, because you have very limited range of motion when you do that. When I'm making circles, I don't want to just do this, because it's going to limit how far I can go with my wrist, with my hand. So lifting your arm, your hand off the page, and using your shoulder muscle to control your line. Now, if you feel like you're shaky, if you tend to have the shakes, sometimes putting a pinky down to stabilize yourself like a tripod is totally okay, because your pinky can move with your hand, right? Like this. So you want to be kind of moving your whole arm, keeping your eye one step ahead of your hand the whole way, so you can create a swift, you're not going fast, but you're also not going painfully slow. Because if you go too slow, your circle is going to look really wonky. If you go too fast, it's going to look really wonky. So you want to be in control of this line. And you're just practicing on top of this circle a few times. I'm stabilizing my hand a little bit here, but I'm using my whole arm. You know, think of it like a workout kind of, because it's very limiting to just use your wrist or your hand. So once you've done that many times over that circle, I want you to try to freehand it now. Now, you know, we could give ourselves dots if we wanted, but the problem with that is that they're not going to be in the right places. Like, unless you were to have taken a circle and drawn them around the circle, which you could definitely try as well. But I want you to jump from this to just freehanding it, because you have the tools and tricks now. You want to keep your eye one step ahead of your pencil lead. You want to think of the whole circle as you're drawing it, like visualize it, kind of blur your eyes, see the whole thing. Don't just see it a section at a time. And then use your whole hand, your whole arm to create the circle. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and I'm going to give that a try. So I'm going to almost visualize before I put my pencil to paper. I want to almost make a circle in the air. And you can sometimes just see it visually doing that. You know, like a little before image, after image, whatever they call it. And so you want to do that before you touch the paper. And then don't be afraid to like do multiple lines to represent a circle, okay? So like this is a lot more forgiving than if you're trying to make a perfect circle the first time, which can just be, it's just not, it's not very flexible. Because right now this isn't very perfect and I have to go back and erase this and like move this in to make it look a little bit more perfect, right? So don't be afraid of multiple lines to create a circle, because you can always erase the excess, erase what you don't need. But you're really just practicing the dot to dot method. Your eye is one step ahead of your hand. You're visualizing the whole circle. You're using your whole arm to control. You have way more stability from your shoulder than you do from your wrist and your hand. And if you are still a little shaky, don't forget to put your pinky down. But just try this now. Try making circles lightly. Don't press too hard. Using your whole arm. Make them in different sizes. Try some different sizes. Just to see if you can get the hang of it. Now, the other thing with circles is practice. Like, I know everyone loves hearing that, but if you're going to get better at circles, you have to practice. You have to give yourself that time to visualize it, feel it out, practice it. And, you know, I'm not going too fast. I'm not committing to one line. I'm trying to give myself some flexibility, some looseness, light to the touch so that I can erase excess lines if I want to. But this is just honestly the best way to practice perfect circles. And as you fill a page of these, you know, sometimes it's helpful just to give yourself a grade. Be like, oh, I love this one. This one's a little bit wonky, right? A little bit squished in some spots. Like, oh, this one's not too bad. You know, this one's not too bad. This one's not too bad. This one's a little weird. You know, so you kind of like analyze the circles you've created. And you'll just start to be able to recognize what is a pretty perfect, accurate circle. And you'll just feel more confident doing that. So there you guys go. I hope you found that helpful. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Practice those circles. Bye.